Good morning, everybody. Top of the morning to you. I've got my Strelitzia mug full of my terrible coffee that I'm told that I drink. I won't tell you the brand because you'll really judge me. And don't make me cough or laugh because I came back from Thailand with, I don't know quite what it is, but 2 sets of antibiotics later, we're still fighting the, the lurgy. But never mind, we're all good. We're here, we're standing, it's a beautiful day. Rain has been compounded in some parts of the country. Excessive winds. Strange, absolutely strange weather conditions, which is compounding a whole lot of things, which means that we've got to be smarter gardeners, make better choices, make clever choices, make plants and choose plants that are going to go into our garden that have got a bit of, and there's only one word in Afrikaans, houden. You know, they're strong. They're not soft. They're not soft. We need those plants with the strength. And it is a beautiful Thursday. My tanks are full, literally. The tanks around the garden are full of water, which is wonderful. So I know if we're going to have some blazing hot summer days coming ahead, that I have got water stored so that I can water them. And you know what, guys? It was for free. We caught it out the sky, and I will have no bad feelings and no feelings of waste or am I putting resources into the garden which I simply don't have and I'm going to have to pay for. No, they're there. I have it. I have the water. And it's difficult to think about water when it's pouring all day. I mean, I get it. It's like kind of a juxta. It's like, well, it's pouring with rain. I don't need to worry about the water, but that's the time when we should be worrying. And the madness that we're seeing with climate, temperatures, the hottest day recorded in the history of the world. These are things that we need to pay attention to because are they affecting us in our gardens? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, 100%. And so you and I need to adapt and change to be able to make that work in our favor. Guys, so it's a good Thursday. I see a lot of you are on already. Let's take a look and say good morning to whoever's here. Sybil, good morning from a very sunny Durbanville. Sure, guys. Sybil, I had to do like a drive-by into Cape Town. But let me tell you, I left KZN in the pouring rain. It was absolutely dreadful and arrived in Cape Town to the most glorious day. Like zen, stunning, gorgeous. But you guys you've had a lot. Your water table is exceptionally high. And those of you that are gardening in the clay areas of Cape Town where the clay levels are very, very high, sure, you've got waterlogged soil. So you're going to have to be extra vigilant. But remember, when there is a lot of clay, guys, when the sun does come out and bake and beat, they dry out quicker, all right? It does dry out quicker. So you've got to pay attention to that, even although it has been raining, okay? Beverly, good morning from Pietermaritzburg. Nice to have you with us. Indria, good morning. Have you booked your seat? Aha, let me share it with you now, guys. Not this Saturday, like as in a few days' time. Next Saturday, oh, hallelujah. Thank goodness it won't be interfering in, I hope it won't be interfering in any finals. I don't know about you, but did you watch that game? Guys, I watched it by myself. True story. I watched it by myself. The dogs thought I was shouting at them because I was screaming and shouting so much. I was jumping from one side of the couch to the other like there was hot charcoal under my bum because I was so stressed out. Like those little French guys, they were like, I thought more were being made, like little Pokemons all over the field. It was crazy mad, but we did it. We dug deep and go boys. But guys, next week, Saturday, book your ticket, please. Book your spot. That's the 28th of October. Where am I going to be? Builders Warehouse, Port Elizabeth. Guys, if you're anywhere in the area, I mean anywhere, so I'm talking 30, 40 kilometers, get in your car, pack your begrafenis-toebroodjies. Do you know what those are? Do you know what that is? Come on. When I was growing up, we actually did these things called, drives to somewhere. And it was a big family outing. In our case, it was driving from the south coast to Durban. Big day. There wasn't a highway. There was the old road we had to take. I'm showing my age. Okay. But yeah, the samis were packed, the boiled eggs, and they were cut into little triangles, the samis. And you always found them at funerals. So we call them begrafenis-toebroodjies. So next time you cut your sami into little triangles, you'll remember and think of me. But come on, guys, pack your samis, get your boiled eggs with the little salt sachet that you took from that other little takeaway place, and off you go. Come along to Builders Warehouse PE. They have won the Garden Center of the Year for probably, I think it's 10 to 12 years. I could actually be mistaken, but the Garden Center of the Year, Builders Warehouse, Port Elizabeth, guys, unbelievable store, remarkable team, and I look forward to seeing you there. And of course, amazing plants, because they've got a grower like a couple of kilometers from them, about 30, 35, 40 kilometers from them, that supplies them with the most insane plants. So I'm excited, got to be there, and let's hope that the wind doesn't blow, please. So Andrea, please pray to the wind god not to bring the wind. Okay. Avril, good morning from Hot Cowies Hill. Yeah, it's a bit muggy today. Leandra, please come to Joburg. Leandra, I've been in Joburg a lot. Am I going back to Joburg? Yes. Oh. Strubens Valley. I'm going to be at Strubens Valley, Leandra. We're just getting the date. 25th of November, Builders Strubens Valley. And Zambezi. That's like halfway to Pretoria. And the 4th of November. But guys, just make sure, if you want to know who, when, what, where, follow the Builders Facebook page and follow my page, which is Tanya Visser. And we like and share and whatever, kiss and hug. So our Facebook pages will tell each other what's happening. And then you'll find out where I am. So just make sure that you follow those, and then you'll know exactly where I am. Kathy, good. Please come to Builders Edenvale. I think I've been there. I was there. Yes. Oh, Kathy. Okay, you're just going to have to come to Strubens Valley or Zambezi. Okay, all right. Okay, agreed? Right, done. Okay, thank you. Terry Lee, good morning from Assegar. Welcome back. What gorgeous roses on your counter. They are. So I have a love-hate relationship with roses. Okay, it's ongoing. I have to tell you the story, else it will make no sense. And you will think that I am completely revolting and ugly. But I have an ongoing love-hate relationship with these. But they do come from the garden. They were picked this morning. And there's Oklahoma. This. And I've got quite a lot of nasal, so I'm battling to smell. But yeah, they're gorgeous. But, here's the but. If you live anywhere in the Highveld, in the Free State, if you're in the dry, hot summers, Eastern Cape, guys, roses love you. You don't even have to worry about spraying them. You don't have to worry about powdery mildew, black spot, dieback. Dude, those things don't even exist in your vocabulary. But if you live where I do, which is in the KZN mist belt, and when I say mist belt, it rolls in the front door and out the back door through the house. We get a lot of diseases and a lot of hohos. So God bless him. My brother planted all these roses. He now lives in Cape Town, and I have to look after them. Can you see the love? Anyway, yes. So, importantly about roses, and I'm going to bring it up right now, is that, pay attention here. Look, good leaves. If you want good flowers, guys. The energy, the powerhouse of the plant, which is the rows of the leaves, needs to be functioning at optimal. You can't expect the plant to produce amazing flowers if the powerhouse, which is the engine room, does not have the sufficient nutrition and not producing those big leaves to photosynthesize, to transfer the energy into the flowers. Right, enough on that. Rudy, good morning from Pretoria. Avril, yeah, I said good morning to you, Avril. Beverly Lee, good morning from Peter Maritzburg. Sybil from Durbanville. Pam, good morning from Paulshof. Where's Paulshof? Joburg. Oh, Joburg. Morning. Nicole, good morning. Ty, good morning from a sunny Johannesburg. Vanishri, Spears Phillips, a beautiful day in Josie. I am so glad to hear that. Jean from Randburg, excited to see you on the 25th of November at Strubens. Oh, thanks, Jean. Mwah. Look forward to it too. All right, guys, let's get into it. We've got a lot to get through because it's summer, guys, believe it or not. I mean, what happened to the year? Honestly, where's it gone? Somebody asked me what the date is the other day, and I said, I'm sure we're still in September. No, we're a week away from November, guys. Soon, when we start walking into the shops, we're going to hear Boney M playing. Oh, caramba. You know, that's when I want to jump up onto the shelves and start removing things and acting like a madwoman. Because yeah, it's coming. It's coming. So many days. Or who's the other one that they always play? Whitney Houston. Mariah Carey, that's the one. Oh, slit my wrists. There it is. Mariah screaming in the background while I'm trying to make a good purchase. All right. However, there's a lot to get through in the garden. Our gardens are peaking at the moment outside, literally out in the garden. You can see the roses that we've got. The foxies are in full flower, guys. The dahlias are just starting to pop through. The delphiniums are ready for their next prune. Salvias are doing their thing. Violas are still in the garden, still doing what they should be doing. And if we look after them properly, they're still going to carry on going. So, what should we be doing now? Right. We're going to start off with this. Oh, I've just heard a fish eagle in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that. Most beautiful fish eagle. Wow. Okay. With the roses, keep feeding every 4 to 6 weeks. Important, guys. Keep feeding, keep it up. And that is going to go for anything flowering, any of your perennials, any of your smaller shrubs. Keep up that feeding every 4 to 6 weeks. If you need to put a reminder in your phone, if you need an alarm to go off, if you need to tie your 2 shoelaces together, do something to remind yourself. It's really, really important. But come along here. Mace, you can come with me. But I'm just going to grab my secateurs. Carry on into that corner so long. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that are happening right now that you should be paying attention to. Now, guys, if you had anything that was flowering in the garden that you had planted late autumn, early winter. So what are we talking about? Yeah, the things that I've been trying to drum into you, you know, like the cornflowers, which should be about to just pop. They should be popping in your garden right now. The cornflowers, whether it is your salvias that are doing their thing, or any of your little perennials, your poppies, which might have self-sown, and you might have planted them. So all of these, take a look here. All of these guys are in flower at the moment, but some of them are busy going over. Okay, some of them are busy going over. Seeds from last year's clivias, guys. We've gone through this. Look at them. They mature now. Whilst the others, your new flowers, are busy pushing through, and your clivias should be looking amazing. Primarily because we had such good rain. Okay, such good rain. So I've been running around and picking the clivias because I really want to make more. Just a tip, because I do it all the time. I forget what color it is. I mean, I'm like, flower, of course I'll remember that. I walk past it, were you yellow, were you orange, were you deep, you red, were you whatever. And you know, sometimes we just happen to like pick up one at a garden center, one at our local builders that looks a little bit more orange than the other one. And we plant it, and sure, it turns out to be a beauty, because you know why? They get mixed up. And I love that, because that's when we win, okay? Excuse me a second. But what I have found, and it works really, really well, on your clivias, guys, if you don't know what the color is, and if you know you're going to forget, just take a permanent marker and write it on the stem. So if it's dark pink, just write there, dark pink or dark red, because, okay, it'll stay there. It's not going to harm the plant. You find the clivia gurus, they do this a lot. They actually write it on the leaf or on the stem, so that while it is flowering, walk around with a marker, and then you can mark it so you know what color it is. But importantly, pick the seed, and we've shown you how to harvest the seed. We've shown you how to sow the seed. And if you can't remember, guys, then please go to the Builders YouTube channel. You know, that's the YouTube, and then click on the videos, and then search for gardening or sowing clivia seeds, and we will show you how to do it. And that one seed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, guys, 8 potential new plants. Ha! That's a bonus. Serious bonus. Okay, have a look in here, guys. So when it comes to a lot of the plants that are flowering at the moment, and some of us might want to actually harvest the seed, and I get that, and it's a good thing, because I do that every year with the poppies, and these are the poppies. They have finished flowering, but look at that most beautiful, look at that, isn't it stunning? These are seeds that I collected last year, and you can see I only sowed a bit of it, and look how much I've still got left. I've still got like eons, so I could seriously give away poppies for a long time. But what is important is that if you want to keep the seeds, this still needs to dry a bit more, but you can see as I tap it here, so some of the seeds will emerge. And you want to keep these until they're really dry, and then put them onto a bit of paper towel, obviously where the wind isn't going to blow, where you can then save the seed. The same with any of your little perennials. You see, oh, look at all those little, this is a little lichness. Look at all of that lovely seed coming through. And then it's really easy, guys. Get yourself a little envelope. Any little envelope will do. Write down the name, pop the seed in, the date that you harvested it, and then pop it into the fridge, okay? Preferably like the door of the fridge, where you will see it every time you open the fridge, to remind you, not in the veggie compartment, okay? Because you know what will happen in the veggie compartment? They'll get squished when that tomato goes off, or the lettuce is turned into pulp, and then they'll destroy all your seed. So go around the garden, because there's a lot, guys, that is really at its peak right now. Of course, everybody is chili mad, and your chilies are coming, guys. I know they are. They're looking amazing. And a lot of you want to harvest your seed. You want to carry on the next generation. But remember, if you haven't, builders have a wide range of amazing instant little chili plants, like with the chili on it, with the fruit on it. Okay, or you can get the seeds and you can go ahead and do your own. And there's so many different things that you can do with them, guys, and they're good for you. They improve your endorphin levels, you know. It's like a free happy drug, and it's legal. Yeah. Okay, so that's seeds. Get going with those. Now let's look. I'm just going to put this down one side here, and then what we're going to do is move across to some of the other things that are in flower. Now, guys, this is a delphinium. Okay, now if you'd planted your delphiniums, and if you'd bought them as little seedlings from your local builders, this is probably what they're looking like at the moment. Can you see? It's flowered. It's done its thing. Yeah, okay, absolutely, it's performed as it should. Most times what we would do is we would cut this off or we would pull it out. This is where we go wrong. Because look here, look what is about to happen down here. A delphinium, being a true tough perennial, is trying to send up the next set of leaves, which in turn will turn into flowers. So ideally what we want to do is snip it off there. Okay, this part that's over here goes to the compost heap. All right, and what we do is we ensure that this is mulched and that we feed it with an organic plant food, maybe some liquid kelp, because then these guys are going to shoot and give us 1, 2, 3, 4 new sets of leaves, which all have the potential to give us amazing flowers. Okay, so that's our delphiniums. Your foxies are doing the same thing. They're flowered, and foxglove is an interesting plant because it flowers, its maturest flowers are at the lower end. You will see that if you look down, look over here, this guy is starting, it's telling us, you see those little leaflets? It's telling us that it needs to be pruned because this is now over. So if we prune it there, okay, and we leave this behind, this is now, these guys are going to start shooting and giving us the next set of flowers. That's what we want to do. Excuse me. Okay, so the other thing that should be happening in your garden right now, guys, is that your amaryllis should be waking up. In fact, if they're not in flower, you're a little bit behind, but they're one of the most forgiving bulbs. They can stay in the same pot year after year after year. All you've got to do is just pop a layer of mulch around them and give them a good feeding. But I'm going to come back to this because there's a little critter over here that's very unwelcome, but I'm going to get to it. Apparently we got some questions, so let's make our way back and let's see what is on your mind, guys, and how I can help. So let's have a look here. Rightio. Arashani, what is the best to use for powdery mildew on succulents and citrus? Okay, very good question. Your succulents and citrus, of course, we're dealing with two very, very different plants. Citrus, because it's edible, we need to make sure that we are using something that is safe to use on the plants so that if we do eat the fruit, whether it be lemons or oranges, that it is okay. Are you sure it is powdery mildew? And I'm asking this because I just have a feeling that it's not, because powdery mildew is very rare on citrus. I think that you might actually have this. Now, come and take a look here at Exhibit A. Oh my word. I need to pour petrol on this and blow it up afterwards. Guys, this comes from the lemon tree. And what this is an insane festation of, we have got some, oh, there it is. Ew, yucky, yucky, yucky. This is woolly aphids. And we have got some scale going on here. Do you see all of that? Chachas. And that is typical in citrus. Very, very, very typical. So I'm going to say I really don't think it's powdery mildew. Powdery mildew exhibits itself normally on pumpkins, cucurbits, anything along those lines. So I'm going to say to you, with both your succulents and your citrus, that I actually think you have got mealybug. And the way that I want you to treat it is as follows. Now, there are various ways, guys. But a couple of the easiest ways to deal with it is as follows. So all of these products here will do the job for you really easily. Now, on your succulents, okay, you can use Garden Gun, which is already mixed. It's instant. All you got to do is literally just give it a shake and spray. Spray it on the chocho, it'll deal with it. You can use oleum, which is it's an oil base. So this can be used very safely on edible as well as your succulents. But guys, what's important, you've got to spray it early in the morning. It is aphids, right? Okay, good. Thank you. What is important is that you've got to spray this early in the morning. You cannot spray this in the heat of the day because it's an oil. And oil will heat up and boil and literally boil the leaves. So you've got to use the oleum early in the morning. But the good thing is that there's no waiting period because it's literally an oil. You can spray today, eat today. That's how it goes. Okay, you could use organic insecticide. This is Margaret Roberts Organic Insecticide, which is a combination of garlic, canola oil, will do the job equally fine, or Organicide Plus, which is canola, garlic, and it's got pyrethrum in it. Pyrethrum is from the chrysanthemum plant. Okay, and all of these will do the job and are pretty harmless, guys, pretty harmless, because you saw what they're made up of. Okay, they're made up of garlic, canola oil, and the chrysanthemum extract. Okay, so don't stress yourself out about that too much. Guys, next question. Let's have a look. Sonata, what can we feed our roses? Very good question. Very, very good question. Well, God, there are so many options. And it's difficult for me to say, yes, I want you to use that, I want you to use that, I want you to use that. Because a lot of it comes down to personal choice and preference. But I'm going to tell you what we use in the garden. And it literally alters between the following. So we feed with BioOcean, all right? And BioOcean is pelletized chicken litter, which has been put through a very important process of getting rid of any of the weeds and breaking it down enough. Then it is infused with kelp, seaweed, okay, seaweed, which is brilliant because seaweed has so many additional properties. Guys, you can never put down enough of this, and you can never put down too much and worry that you're going to burn the plant. A good 2 handfuls around each plant, and you can do that every 6 to 8 weeks. But what we do is the following. We will take a combination, and it varies, guys, it varies. It really does vary. So we'll go with a combination of this over here, which is the BioOcean, and then we will use this over here, which is the 315 organic, which is from Garden Care. Now, this end number, the 5, is the one that you want to pay attention to. Why? Because this end number is the number that produces the flowers. This is the potassium, NPK. Potassium is the thing that gives you the strength and the plant the strength to produce amazing flowers. So alternate between those two. And then because you can, every 12 days, what I want you to do is, guys, you're going to take some of this, which is a liquid rose food, and it makes life so much easier. You pop this into your sprayer, and literally it's 5 grams and 5 liters of water. It is probably on the market, one of your most cost-effective plant foods to use. 5 grams and 5 liters. Okay, you pop that into one of your sprayers, like one of these guys, okay? Please, not one of these little pss, pss, pss things, okay? Do something like one of these Garden Master pressure sprayers. You see, makes life so much easier, okay? And literally just click it into position and away it goes. And I'm not having to go because you end up with cramp. Yeah. Okay, so dilute that into one of these guys, and what you do is you spray it on as a foliar feed. So now you're spraying the foliage of the leaves, okay? So they're going to get nice, big, and strong, okay? That's what you want to do. Right, okay. Got you there. So that helps with the roses. And remember, with roses, it's about deadheading. And actually, that goes for everything. Absolutely everything. So, to use an example, and now, guys, please don't ooh and ah and cry when I do this, because I have to do this. In fact, no. Okay, I am. Am I? Yes, no, I am. I am going to do this. But now please don't howl, okay? Let's pretend that this rose is not in the vase. It's still attached to the tree, the bush, the shrub. And let's pretend that this flower is now completely going over. It's on its way. It's finished. We didn't pick it in time. It's gone. This is how you deadhead. I want you to pay attention. We're going to go down. We're going to count. 1. Do you see the set of leaves? 1, 2, 3. Okay? Then, after your third, you look for the next. Ow, ow, ow. After you've gone 3, you then look for the next leaf that is the healthiest, that contains and consists of 5 healthy leaves. What are you talking about, Tanya? Okay, look here. This one only has 3. It's not yet mature enough. But this guy here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get it. 5 plus. Okay, 5 plus healthy leaves. You then, just above it, literally go like that. And that is, see, I'm worried about getting attacked here. And that is deadheading. You do that, and what's going to happen is, it's going to, you see this little shoot? It's right here, guys. It's right there. There it is. It is right there. It's wanting to grow. And if we leave this flower on, all it's going to do is suck out all the nutrition. But if we prune it or we pick it for the home, we then encourage this guy to start shooting new sets of flowers. Okay, right, another good example. Folks, if you've got dianthus that have been in the garden, and this is just one of those instant ones that you can pick up at your local builders, but you might have planted them looking beautiful. This is what we call jolt white or dash. You get pink or you get amazing colors. They might be looking like this in the garden now, okay? Because they're kind of like going over. Yes, they're looking like this. You're going to be saying, oh man, I got to pull them out. No, you don't have to pull them out. I am going to show you what you need to do though. If I can just find the other plant that I have hidden somewhere, clearly very well, that I'm looking for. Where did I put you? Hello? Oh, here you are. Okay. So anything that you've had in the garden that is now just going over, look at the plant and the plant will tell you what it needs done. This is a very tall growing dianthus. We are going to follow it down and look for the next and the strongest set of, let me just get rid of this so you can actually see what I'm doing. Strongest set of healthy leaves. So if we go down, not so strong, not so lacquer. 1, 2, but it's not looking that good. 1, 2, it's been eaten by something. Look at this. The plant is telling us, here's the new shoot, 2 good solid leaves. So all we do is, we give it a haircut over there. You do the same process, follow it down. Where are you? There you are. And just above it, all you do is get in there and give it a quick prune. All we're doing now, folks, is we've removed all the spent flower stems and stalks. We've chosen our strongest leaves and leaf sets to take on the next generation. And that plant, with a little feeding of an organic fertilizer, is now going to explode for the next 3 to 4 months in your garden, right into autumn. Softer perennials, like this little guy over here. This is a little diaschia. Guys, what are diaschias? They're indigenous, they're beautiful. You get them in all different colors. They're called spur flowers. Many of us have picked them up and popped them into the garden. This can be a bit of a challenge. Now, if you really have a lot of time on your hands, which I don't think many of us do, you could sit and individually remove each little one at a time. I don't. So I literally just go in like this. It's just a very quick haircut. And yes, I'm leaving some stalks behind, but you know what? It's okay, guys. it's okay. Just a quick, there we go. And that's it. You'll notice I have not pruned it too hard. I've just taken off the tips of those flowering bits, because what's going to happen now? Yep, same thing that we did with the dianthus. New flush, new set of flowers. Okay, right, got it. Okay, let's have a look at what else is going on around the garden at the moment. Now, I'm going to use Exhibit A. Guys, Exhibit A. Now, if you bought a perennial, a salvia or something, and you put it in the garden, and you didn't prune it, this is what it's going to look like. Long and tall like Jack and the Beanstalk going to heaven, because that's what plants do. You know, especially if they're too crowded and they've got other plants around them, they're looking and searching for the light. And you may have something like this in your garden. Yeah, and he looks pretty ugly, doesn't he? Okay. What I'm going to do to the plant is very aggressive. But you need to do it, guys. You have to do it. And I'm going to show you another example. Salvia, salvia. Salvia, salvia. This one is going over, okay? You can see it's almost finished flowering. In a few weeks' time, yes, it is slightly early for this. Look at the plant. The plant will tell you what it needs. Look, follow it down, follow it down, follow it down. Ha! There it is. There are my leaves. There are my strong new leaves. There's the next generation. So all we do is we just prune back to that. Prune back to that. And in literally 3 weeks, these things grow like hair on a dog's back. It will come through and push through, and it'll end up looking like this. Nice and full, lots of foliage, beautiful flowers. Okay, got it. Yes, we have pruned it quite aggressively, but don't stress yourself out. I promise you it'll come back. All right. Now, if we had pruned this plant, it would be looking like this now. Do you see the difference? Big difference. And I will show you exactly where it was pruned. If you look in here, guys, look in here. Can you see? That's where it was pruned. So you can see it's already nice and bushy. So what do we do with this critter over here that's looking like it's really near the compost heap, or should be sent there? First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of any lanky, dead, diseased bits that are hanging around. Now, stop breathing so deeply and looking so panicked. You know, I'm going to have to give you a paper bag. Guys, because we've had to do this. You have to do this in order to kickstart the plant. Because if you look closely, once again, the plant is telling you what it should do. There. That needs to go right over there. And that needs to go right over there. And I could actually be even more aggressive, and I could wait a few weeks and wait for this to just start shooting, for these lower ones, because in my opinion, it's still too tall, guys. I would actually, in a couple of weeks' time, I would do that. What you're going to do now is all these lovely shoots that at the bottom are going to come through and push through beautifully, fresh, gorgeous, young, and it's going to look like this. I promise you, I promise you. Do not fear. Do not fear. Okay, right. Guys, that's in terms of maintenance about what's going on around the garden at the moment. Let's talk about what we can plant now. So many options, so much inspiration that is out there at your local builders, and I'm going to help you make some decisions, okay? I'm going to help you make those decisions because, you know, sometimes it gets a bit rough out there and you get a bit stressed out. So you're going to come across these guys because they're looking amazing at the moment at your local builders, and these are called Inca lilies. This guy is called Indian Summer, and this one is called Intakana, I think. Is it Intakana? Intakancha. Okay. I get the names mixed up. Okay. Anyway, you'll see the one is shorter, the one is taller. Don't make the mistake of buying the shorter one if you're looking for cut flowers in the garden. This guy only gets about this big, low, mounded. It's more just for color. Whereas this one is clearly more for the cut flowers. So anything that's got the Indian or summer series on the label, that's the one you want to look out for, because it's this beautiful tall, you know, they last forever and ever and ever in the vase. And when you've planted one in the garden, you're going to be so successful that you're going to want to plant more and more and more. And remember, the way that you remove an Inca lily when you are cutting it for the vase, or whether you're just deadheading and neatening up the plant, is you don't actually prune it. Okay, watch here. You follow this down, follow the stem down. Are you with me there, Mace? Right, you follow the stem down, you grab it, and you give it a 1, 2, 3, a good tug. You see that? Right, out it comes. There we go. So what we've done, and look, at the base, that was attached to the bulb. That part was attached to the bulb because Alstromerias are made up of many bulblets. Now look here, here's a perfect example. Here's the new shoot pushing through. Here's the old one. You can see the flowers were there. So we need to get rid of this. Get rid of these bits that are taking up unnecessary energy. And in that way, and even this guy here, what are you doing hanging around here? Yeah, out you come. All right, because then we've made space for this guy. So Inca lilies, plant them. They're beautiful, guys. They are absolutely amazing. Right, I want to get into a few other things that we can do. Oh, and what do you do with it afterwards? Well, you just grab it there, strip the leaves, give it a 45 cut, pop it in the vase, man, and it's going to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, now, what can we put in if we need a bit of pop of color, if we need some things to do their thing? Okay. Guys, we are all tempted. I know. It's so difficult. We walk into builders and the plants jump onto our trolleys without us even doing a thing. Okay? And we get home and most of the time we don't actually know where the plants are going. So I'm going to help you get one step ahead and think about what you're going to be planting. And right now, with it being summer, the most amazing coleus are, look at them. Coleus, also known as Joseph's coat or Joseph's kleed, come in these most fantastical colors of foliage. Look at them. They can grow in full sun, they can grow in semi-shade, and the colors are just insane. Treat them just like a normal perennial. When they start getting a bit scraggly, you prune them back. They're great for pots as well. And guys, if you're thinking of a combo and you've got a bare spot in the garden and you don't know what to do, well, choose a red one like this guy or this guy over here, and then maybe behind it, plant something like that. And oh, caramba! Look at the difference. Look. There, and pow. Put in the yellow. This is just a normal lobelia. But look when we put these combinations together. So I'm going to leave him here. He's probably not going to stand. But this is the best way, I think, for you guys to actually see what the combinations do. So sit, Ubu, sit. Don't move. Okay. I want to show you what I can add to that. So I've got something tall in the back, which will be the abelia. I've got a coleus coming down in the middle. What do I put in the front of the border just to soften it up? Well, add in some lovely soft foliage. This is a beautiful liriope. It's called Pure Blonde. Oh, she's gorgeous. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. Change in texture, change in colors. This is its spring growth, and then it goes green for the rest of the year, but it loves colder winters. As an alternative, we could put in a lovely, Caprosma. This is the dark leaf Caprosma, but I believe there are more questions, so let me get to that, and then I'm going to carry on with my little coleus cacophony here. Pam, I planted baby clivia. I think it must be clivias last year. No flowers yet. What do I feed them now? Is it too late for flowers? Okay. Pam, if you planted baby clivia, now here's the thing. This is where you need to up your medication, because clivias from seed take 3 to 4 years before they flower. True story. True story. You know, you could only do mathematics when you were like 7 or 6. I don't know, fractions when you were 9. Everything takes a little bit of time. So the clivias, yes, 3 years and older, that's when they will flower. So don't despair. You've planted it. You're way ahead than some people who haven't planted them. What you can feed it with is use the Atlantic Bio-Ocean that I showed you. You can also, to help them get along, guys, to help them get along, is give them a liquid feed every now and then with some Nutri-Feed. Now, Nutri-Feed, you dilute into water, into your watering can. This is also 5 grams into 5 liters of water. A good general plant food, a really good general plant food. Okay. And make sure they stay mulched. Guys, whenever you are worrying about a plant and where the plant is growing or why it's not growing or why it's looking half dead, is to ask from whence it came. Clivias are indigenous. They're indigenous to the coastal forests, okay, where it's warm, humid, thick layer of leaves in the forest. Make sure your clivias are mulched. Make sure that they are mulched, okay, very importantly. And the other thing, and if you don't have leaves in that lying around, well, then you should at least have your compost heap going. So you're going to take some beautiful compost, right, and you're going to put that around your plants. And guys, that goes for everything. That goes for all of your plants. Important to make sure that you've put this layer around. And if you don't have your own compost heap going, then you can always just buy a bag from your local builders, okay? Get one of these bags. Good stuff in here. Really, really good stuff. Look at that. Dark brown. Lovely and loamy. Look at it. Okay. And one of the easiest ways to make your compost heap like speed up so that you can have lovely friable compost is to add in some organic compost activator. Now, this little 5 gram sachet here, believe it or not, will make you a ton of compost. So don't buy 10 of these. You only need 1. And you just dilute it into lukewarm water. Pour it over your compost heap, and then away you go. But guys, there's a lot that's happening in the garden right now, okay? Plus, there's a lot that's happening on the telly, and we've got to divide our time in between them. Thank goodness, all of these rugby matches are only happening late, like 9 o'clock at night. Actually, it's beyond my bedtime, so I have to set an alarm to make sure that I'm awake. However, when the rugby's on, you know, everybody's having a braai, it's quite gesellig. And it probably is a good time for you to look at that bra and say, like, oh, is it working? Isn't it working? You know? Like, is it rusted? Okay? Does it need an upgrade? And if you've been spending a bit of time around there, then you'll know the answer to that. So we set the boys, Exo and Kev, to fix up a bra that really needed some help. It needed a counter. It needed a countertop because, you know, it's like when you're braaiing, you got the tongs, you got your apron on, you got the water, you've got the chops, you know, you got everything. And then like, where do you put the stuff? Where do you put it? Where do you put it? No, I don't know about you, but there's always only one person that ends up around the fire. Yeah. Who's the oak that ends up turning the choppies while everybody else is doing their thing? So take a look at this clip, guys. This shows you how to make your very own countertop. Don't be overwhelmed. It's really easy. The guys got to it. Enjoy.
Building your own outdoor area sounds like a big job, but in a way it is. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of call it tips and tricks that you can use to make this big job a lot easier without you having to take any shortcuts. So this is an outdoor area that's in the process of being built, and I've taken this opportunity to show you just how easy it is to throw a concrete slab to make your own countertop. Now these 2 block columns have been built 1200 millimeters apart, outside to outside. Now usually when laying a countertop across this span, you have to use shuttering, formwork, and you have to use reinforcing wire. And if not done properly, you run the risk of this collapsing. So how do we do it? Lintels. Let me show you how. Now we're going to be using concrete lintels to span this gap. Lintels are precast reinforced concrete lengths that are used above doorways and windows. These certainly have the strength to carry the weight off the countertop. So I've asked Kevin to lend me a hand today. So we're going to start by laying these lintels across the blocks, ensuring that they're lying snugly together. These lintels are 1200 millimeters in length. We then need to cut some ply and create a box of sorts to contain the concrete mix. So I've tasked Kev to get cracking with the timber work.
So in order to create the framework, I'm going to cut some strips of ply and join 2 strips together. Those will then get mounted to the side of the concrete blocks. That then forms a collar that can hold our formwork. Now we want our countertop to be about 100 millimeters thick. So I've measured and cut my ply into the right size lengths for the sides and the front face, and then join these 2 strips with a few Tex screws. I can then pre-drill the mounting holes through the timber, hold them in place, and mark with the masonry bit. Drill out the holes in the blocks before securing the strips with some 6mm nail and anchors. Now this will give us a thicker edging on the countertop, and we've secured them 50mm below the lintels, so our concrete hides the edges and the sides of the lintels. So our 3 framework pieces have been mounted to the blocks, and you'll notice there's a gap here. It's never that easy. However, our formwork is going to sit on the front. We don't want the cement disappearing inside the cavity, so we need to measure, mark and cut a strip that will fit inside here and secure it from the inside to this piece here. I'm then going to cut the same lengths but with a higher outside width, with the tops forming the final level of the countertop. So to get my 100mm countertop depth, these sides need to be cut at 270mm. Screw these into place, and I'll put a few Tex screws into the corners just to hold it all together tightly. Now ensure that all your timbers are mounted level. Now is your only chance to get it right.
Button, it's always a pleasure working with you, man. This is a very, very good job. It's very neat, it's very steady, it's definitely gonna hold. Right, next step, I've got to mix some daga.
Let's go.
We're using a mixing ratio of 1 part cement, 3 parts sand, and 2 parts stone, and mixing in the water to get a consistency that is not overly runny. Now I've also added some key coat, which will reduce how much water seeps into the cement. Now's the time for the fun part. Let's pour it into the framework. Make sure as you pour that you work the cement down into the formwork to remove any bubbles. Knocking the side with a hammer also helps remove bubbles. Now we're going to pull a straight edge over the surface in a jiggling motion to get the smoothest finish, but also to ensure that it's level. Now you'll notice that there's a bit of cement that drips through the gaps between the lintels and onto the floor, which is why I recommend doing this before doing the flooring. Once it has started to harden, give it a gentle float to remove any high spots. Remember to water the slab for the first few days to slow the drying process. Keep it covered with some plastic. This helps prevent cracks from forming. So I've given the concrete a few days to dry. Time now for the moment of truth. Let's unbox this. I'll remove the Tex screws and remove the formwork. Look at that, just as planned. I'm then sealing it with Wood Arc 45, which is a tile and cement penetrating sealant that will protect this countertop against stains and oils. It dries to a clear finish and application is easy. I'm simply using a block brush. Oh man, I love it when a plan comes together. I think this looks beautiful. It's so convenient having enough space to put everything that I need. And knowing that I built it from concrete, I know it's going to last me for many years to come. Now remember, you can definitely get your Builders building cement and other building materials at Builders, in store or online at builders.co.za. And for more videos like this, check out the blog on the website. Get to Builders, get it done.
Well, welcome back, guys. And, you know, if you get your stuff together, you could just have it ready for Saturday night. Okay, right. What else can we be planting right now? Yes, what are you going to find? Guys, in terms of putting in pops of color to get the most out of your garden, I have to show you this plant, Alternanthera Purple Prince. I love it, but on its own, anything with dark foliage Dark foliage is there to make other things look good. Remember that, okay? And the way that we do that is as follows. We either combine it with something gray, all right? Oh, look at that. On its own, that's okay, right? That's called Dusty Miller. It's a beautiful gray perennial. But Alternanthera on its own, purple prince, looks okay. But when I put them together, that's when magic happens. That's when magic happens. And if I take it one step further and add that there, ooh, caramba, now we're talking. Look at that. Look at that color combo. Okay, so what else could we add to this? Let's say we got a small garden. Yeah, I get it. I get it. So what we could do is we could put these in the background, okay? And then right in the front, we could use some little yellow marigolds. Look at that lovely combo. It's bright, it's cheerful. This is summer on steroids, guys, and it will go right through for a good few years. And of course, your little Afrikaners or your marigolds will just reseed and pop up all over. And if they pop up in the wrong spot, then you can just move them to where you want them to be, or just let it go. Okay, there's loads of seeds to sow right now, so get out there into your local builders, and whatever is on the counter is what you should be sowing right now. It's as simple as that. Other things that you must consider putting in, guys, beautiful alyssum. It's changed its name. This is a lobularia. This is a variegated. It's a great perennial. I love using it on the border edgings because it just tumbles. It just tumbles and tumbles. Masses of white flowers that, if I smell deep enough and open my nostrils deep enough, like honey, and you will know because the bees just love it, just love it. Folks, there's lots to do. There's lots and lots to do. There's pruning, there's mulching, there's making sure that your plants are ready for the heat of the summer. And if you are planting, guys, if you are planting and you are planting in an area that you know is always dry, like next to the side of the house, under the eaves, in a section under trees, which you know just dries out so quickly, and you kind of never get it right. I want to show you a quick tip that's going to help you along the way. Guys, and look for the stuff at your local builders, and you use it in different ways. Use it in 2 ways. Now, it's a little sachet like this because you really don't need a lot. It's called Hydro Cash, okay? When you open it, you are going to get your fingers dirty, and you are going to be able to paint your face, not like the All Blacks, because it's got some carbon in it, but you see when my fingers come out there. So what you do is, there are different ways that you can use this. You can either take it as the little granules like this, and they are biodegradable, they are non-toxic, and you just need to continuously add it to the soil whenever you are planting, especially in those difficult areas I've just mentioned. So you can do it 2 ways. You can just sprinkle it on top of your compost and mix it in, all right? And the other way is that you can do it like this. Now, I want to show you as an experiment, and you don't use a lot, but just as an experiment, I want to show you what this stuff does. When you add it to water, so you can get a container like this, right? You add it in, and this is great for when you're planting proteas, guys, or as I said, those plants in those difficult areas. And we're going to see what happens in a few seconds. But what happens really is these little polymers suck up all the water. Okay, so you've either added it in as this dust, or you've mixed it with water to make this. And look what's happening already. Guys, watch this here. Look at it. Ooh. Slush puppy. Beautiful. So what we've made is this beautiful gooey stuff. And look, as I'm adding water, look what's happening. Look what's happening. It's just sucking up the water. There is no water. It's just sucking it all up. Now imagine that, folks. Imagine that. A blob or 2 of this at the bottom of the planting hole. So you put it down and you put your plant on top of it, okay? On top of it. So when your plant needs water, what does it do? Yeah, just sucks it back up there. Great for hanging baskets, excellent for pots. Use it in those difficult areas. And finally, folks, if you're still needing some inspiration, and of course, everybody needs more inspiration, when you pop into your local builders and you're just there before the gardening section, remember you will always find your go-to gardening magazines. My magazines, guys, put together by an amazing team that is behind me. Detail Need, folks, and The Gardener. And look, funny that, look what's on the front cover, Indian Summer, the Inca lily I was telling you about. Thing you need on gardening, whether it is what to prune, what to sow, what to plant, and more gardening inspiration. And then grow to eat, and we all need to be growing more of our own. And finally, let's bra. Well, it couldn't be more top of mind. Guys, remember to visit the Builders blog. That's at www.builders.co.za so that you can find more gardening info. And what have I got on me? Tissue. You see, I got tissues. That's snot everywhere. It's terrible, terrible. Folks, there's so much to do out there. Lots to read, lots to inspire. And remember to put on your jerseys, get the boerewors, turn the choppy, make sure you've got your orange juice with you. And keep the garden going. Till next time, God bless you and happy gardening.